Hello and welcome to helpyourmath.com. In this video, we're going to look at writing equations of perpendicular lines given a line it's perpendicular to and 1 point on the line. In our first example, we are going to not only find the perpendicular line, but we're also going to graph both lines and kind of verify, visually that these lines do in fact look perpendicular. Remember what perpendicular means? It means that when they meet, they intersect at 4 right angles. The other important thing we need to know is how do we recognize when we're given an equation when two lines are perpendicular, and their slopes will multiply to -1, or we say that they are negative reciprocals of each other. So they have opposite signs and the values would be reciprocals of each other. So knowing that, how are we going to write this equation of this mystery line? Well, first thing we need to do is we need to figure out the slope of the given line. We have 3x minus 4y equals 12. What's the slope of this line? Well, what I might do is I might subtract 3x from both sides. And this would give me -4y is equal to -3x plus 12. Then I'll divide each term by -4. -4 and -4. That gives me y equals negative divided by negative is positive. So positive 3 over 4 times x minus 3. So that's the given line. Now we know that the slope of the given line, so I can say m of given, is equal to 3/4. So the slope of any line at all that's perpendicular to it, opposite sign, since the given line is positive, this one will be negative, and the reciprocal of 3/4 is 4/3. Now we know our mystery line, the slope of it, and we know 1 point on it, which is enough information for us to be able to write the equation of the line. So we have the slope is -4/3. And we know 1 point on it is 6, -5. I like plugging into point slope form. That's y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. We have the slope. This is x sub 1. This is y sub 1. That would give me y minus -5 is equal to -4/3 times x minus 6. I want to clean up both sides. Minus negative here becomes a plus. It's equivalent to plus, positive. And then if I distribute the -4/3, I get -4/3 times x. -4/3 times -6. Let's go off to the side here and talk about this for a second. Don't be afraid of the fraction. Embrace the fraction. I'm going to put 6/1 just so that they're both fractions. Negative times negative is positive, so the value will be positive. And then before I multiply, I see that I can simplify by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. -4 times -2, we already decided was positive, is 8/1. Which just equals 8. So this becomes plus 8. Okay, so now we want to get y by itself. Since it did say to put it in slope-intercept form, we'll subtract 5 from both sides, and our mystery line now is not a mystery anymore. We have y equals -4/3 x plus 3, because 8 and -5 make 3. So there is our perpendicular line. Let's graph these lines. So we have, I'm going to use the slope-intercept form here. That's going to start me down here at -3. And then I'm going to use the slope. I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, to the right 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll do it again, up 1, 2, 3, to the right 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like too many. Oh no, that was right. Okay, using a straight edge as best you can. You can draw it in, and there's my line. Yes, I cheated. I did. Hee hee. It's too hard to do these lines otherwise. Okay, so that was our given line. How about the perpendicular, the mystery line that's no longer a mystery? This one we're going to start at 3, and then the slope tells me go down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 3, 1, 2, 3. Down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over 3, 1, 2, 3. And when I connect those lines with a nice straight edge, that's the line that I get. And you can see here those beautiful right angles that we created by the perpendiculars. Okay, in our next example, we want to do this again. So we're given an equation, we have a point. Let's find the equation of the perpendicular line that passes through this point. First, we need the equation, we need the slope of the given line. So I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. That gives me y equals -2x plus 1. Now I know that the slope of the given line is -2, and therefore the slope of any line perpendicular to it Well, let's see, it's negative, so the perpendicular will be positive, and the reciprocal of 2 is a half. So any line that's perpendicular to the given line will have a slope that's a half, including our mystery line. So our mystery line has a slope of a half, and it passes through the point 2, -5. It is not going to be a mystery for long. All right, we're going to plug into point slope form. That's y minus y1 equals m times x minus x sub 1. Here's x1, here's y1. That gives me y minus -5 is equal to 1/2 times x minus 2. Okay, let's clean this up. Minus negative would become plus. So we have y plus 5 is equal to 1/2. We're going to distribute times x. And then what's half of 2? Half of 2 is 1, so we'll say minus 1. We want to get y totally by itself, so we're going to subtract 5 from both sides. And we end up with y equals 1/2 x minus 6. And that should do it. That's perpendicular slope to the opposite reciprocal of the given slope. And if we wanted to, we could just double check by plugging in x sub 1 and y sub 1 to make sure it really does work. Okay, in our next example, try this one. How'd you do? Okay, first thing we need to do is find what? We need the slope of the given line. We're so close, but y is not by itself. It's being multiplied by 5. So we're going to divide all 3 terms by 5. That's going to give us y equals 7/5 x minus 8/5. So now, on this line, we know that the slope of the given line is 7/5, and therefore we can figure out the slope of any perpendicular. And I keep using this symbol. That's just the symbol that represents perpendicular. So the slope of any line at all that's perpendicular to that given line is going to have the opposite sign, so it's going to be negative, and then it's going to have be the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 7/5 is 5/7. So there we have the slope of our not so mystery line for long. We're going to use -5/7, and we're going to use this given point 7, -6. We have m is labeled. Here's x1, here's y1. Plugging into point slope form, that would be y minus y1, y minus -6 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1, -5/7 times x minus 7. We're going to clean up both sides, so here I'm going to change minus negative to plus. Y plus 6 is equal to, distributing the -5/7, we get -5/7 times x. Negative times negative is positive. And then if we come over here, I'm going to ignore the signs because I already know that it's going to be positive. 5/7 times 7/1. The 7's end up canceling, and we end up with 5/1, which is equal to 5. So here we have plus 5. Last step, get y by itself. We're going to subtract 6 from both sides. We get y equals the big unveiling of our not so mystery line anymore. 5 and -6 make -1. Bum bum, there it is in all its glory. Last example. We have x minus 9 equals 0. If I add 9 to both sides, I get x equals 9. This is a vertical line. And wait, what do we care about it? We care about its slope. The slope of any vertical line is undefined. So m is undefined. That's a little bit awkward. How do we take the reciprocal of something that's undefined? Do we just put undefined under 1? No, that's not exactly what we do. Because it's undefined, that does mean that it's a vertical line. And what is perpendicular to vertical lines? Horizontal lines. So that means that our mystery line would have a slope of 0. It would also be a horizontal line. So we don't really care about that. We don't need to plug in unless you absolutely have to. How do we write the equations of horizontal lines? Those are given by y equals. What does y equal? Well, this is x and this is y. Y equals 3. So we would have the equation y equals 3. That is the horizontal line that is perpendicular to that vertical line x equals 9 that passes through the point 2, 3. These have been examples of writing perpendicular lines to given lines through given points. Thank you for stopping by.